part of an effort started by one of our first ladies decades ago, Lady Bird Johnson. She encouraged the beautification of Texas highways by personally giving awards to the highway districts that use native Texas plants and scenery to the best advantage. I've done many interviews over the years, but one that stands out in my mind is the one I did with Lady Bird Johnson during the opening of the National Wildflower Center outside of Austin.
If you were a wildflower, what type of wildflower would you be?
I'd want to be one of the survivors, one of the awful hard to kill, eager to spread type. And I guess pink evening primrose, delicate as it is nevertheless one of those to me. And certainly Indian blanket, so typical of widespread Southwest prairie land.
Do you all know why wildflowers became such an important thing to her? Does anybody know that story? When she was a little girl, she said she was very lonely as an only child, and she would walk to and from school, and she played a game of being able to name every wildflower there was, and she said the wildflowers were actually her friends. So, well, thanks to the Houston Parks and Recreation Department, her legacy lives on. This year, they're looking for people to sign up and volunteer for the 5th annual Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Tribute Planting Project. So joining us from Memorial Park, please welcome horticulturist Dee Howell and artist Kelly-Gail Amon. Good morning.
Good morning, Deborah. Well, we're here in the park.
And Dee, let me start with you. We've had a tough summer, and our parks have suffered just as much as all of our front yards.
Oh, definitely. One issue we always have with the wildflowers is to get the seed down in the soil through the grass, but I don't think we're going to have too much of an issue with that this year.
Right. And the great thing about wildflowers, of course, is they're kind of used to this Texas weather.
Yeah, we plant all native seeds so they adapt to the environment and will hopefully give us some color.
We see a lot of kids behind you there, so tell us about this particular project and the projects throughout the city that we can all get involved in.
Well, we're out here in Memorial Park, and we're here with the children from Heritage Christian Academy. I've got Miss Lisa, the principal. Why do you think it's good for the kids to be out here on this project?
Well, we teach the kids the importance of giving back to the community through everything that we do. So it's very important to bring them out here, let them spread these seeds, and then come back hopefully in the spring with rain and see their efforts that have actually became of this. And so they're excited to be back. We were out here last year, and when they heard we were coming back, they were excited to come back again.
We've got Tripp and Caitlin here and an ambulance, and we want to see, what do you think? I know they were both here last year. What do you think, Caitlin?
It was fun.
Have a good time?
Yep.
They're very eager to get started planting seeds. They've got their cups of seeds in their hand. Show them your seeds. They've got their cups of seeds in their hand, and they're ready to get started.
All right, so Dee, what you're doing is sneaking in a little education on them there, a little science education.
Right, right, and they really love it. They all came running down the hill when they got out of their cars this morning, so they're very excited to do this project again, and they come back and look at it again.
Of course they did, Dee. They're out of school right now. Okay, but no.
Exactly.
Let's talk about some of the other, like Sylvan Rodriguez Park. We can find these wildflower projects that people can get involved in throughout the city. How do we specifically get involved as an individual?
You can go to some of the projects. You can go to the Parks Department website and see where the sites are. We're planting at Mason Park. We're planting at Herman Brown. We're planting on East Orem and a lot of different places around town on Saturday.
All right. Kelly-Gail Amon is a wonderful artist in this city. So, Kelly-Gail, you have designed a bench. Tell us about this bench.
Good morning, Deborah. Thank you for having me with you this morning. This bench is a product of many, many years of experiencing with wildflowers, starting with the Wildflower truck, which was given to the Wildflower Center last year. I work with foundations with commemoration. This bench is laser cut, Deborah, with all of the wildflowers in it, which shadow through it in aluminum, and it allows people to help fund or make donations to the Wildflower Center by purchasing a bench to commemorate someone they love or care about.
Yeah, you were honored by Laura Bush, First Lady Laura Bush.
We were. The first bench in May was dedicated to Laura Bush through the Wildflower Center, and the second bench is now here in the Parks and Recreation.
Kelly, we've been seeing lately a lot of art projects pop up around the city. How important is that in terms of defining a city's character, and when people come from out of town to run into pieces like this?
Deborah, that's a great question as well. There's nothing more wonderful than partnership. If someone has the ability to know that they can make a difference by donating, funding a bench that will be a living memorial to someone they care about, they then take ownership with the city and the ambulance coming by.
Yeah. All right. And you've done great art projects before. You took your art skills and moved them into furniture and now into these benches and pieces that we can see out in the parks as well. Okay, so the kids, are they stomping those wildflowers into the ground right now?
They're throwing all the seeds out, and then when they get through with that, we're going to do a lot of stomping.
All right. And Dee, before we wrap up, give us some tips on what we can do and what we can plant right now in our own yards that will hopefully replace all the brown dead stuff we have right now.
Well, I think we're going to be moving into winter planting. The wildflowers and the native plants are often the way to go because they're more tolerant of these swings in the weather that we seem to be having. So I would go in the direction of the native plants.
All right. Well, Dee, Kelly Gale, y'all get to stomping, and thanks for sharing some time with us this morning.
Thank you very much.
All right, there's still time to volunteer, as you heard, for the Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Tribute Planting Project. You can find them on the web at houstonparks.org. Coming up, no need to toss those old and unwanted cell phones. We'll show you how to put them to good use and possibly save a life.